What's happening around the world and what's happening here at home? A very good evening to you and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Before we get into our stories in detail, let's take a quick look at your headlines.
One suspect arrested over the killing of 2 police officers in Vavanathivu, Batticaloa. Vessel for Justice rally organized by the United National Front commences. Who is handling the United National Party? J.L. Pires explains. Chairman of the Elections Commission says the delay in elections violate the fundamental rights of the people. Another Tusker killed in a shooting incident. Today marks World AIDS Day.
In our top story for this evening, today marks the World AIDS Day. Now, last year, only 285 HIV cases were reported.
Launched in 1988 by the World Health Organization and considered the first World Health Day, the annual observance highlights worldwide efforts to combat HIV/AIDS. World AIDS Day is also an occasion to show support for those living with HIV and to remember those who have sadly lost their lives from the infection. Globally, there are an estimated 36.7 million people who have the virus. Despite this virus only being identified in 1984, more than 35 million people have died of HIV or AIDS, making it one of the most destructive epidemics in history. This year's theme, Know Your Status, intends to promote everyone to undergo medical testing to discover if the virus exists in them and to put those diagnosed positive towards the right treatment and care. Thousands of red balloons were released into the sky over Sao Paulo ahead of World AIDS Day. The balloons were released before a small crowd at the Emilio Ribas laboratory, where doctors and scientists are working to combat the virus. A rally was organized by the Ministry of Health in line with the World AIDS Day. The event was held under the auspices of Director General of Health Services Anil Jasinga. The rally, which commenced at the Colombo Municipal Council premises, reached the BMICH in Colombo. Officials of the civil organization and the Health Ministry attended the event.
Now, 2 decisive meetings which were vital to resolve the current political crisis was held last night at the President's office. Although the discussions had ended without an agreement, foreign media had reported that the government had focused its attention to revoke the Gazette notification which was issued to dissolve the parliament.
As per an agreement reached at the meeting held between the President and the Speaker Karu Jayasuriya last Thursday, a special meeting was organized between the President and a group of parliamentarians representing the Tamil National Alliance. The meeting, which commenced at 7:30 last night, had lasted for over an hour. We spoke well. The President will take a decision regarding the matter in 2 or 3 days. That will happen soon. Have patience.
Electronic vote system
The President said that he would accept the Parliament's decisions if they were confirmed through the electric vote system. After the 5th. He said that he will appoint whoever has the majority of 113. He also acknowledged that Mahinda Rajapaksa does not have the majority. As soon as the meeting between the TNA had ended, a group of UNF party leaders arrived at the President's office and held discussions for over 2 hours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We cannot talk about some things. Any discussion is successful. It was decided to meet again on Sunday. Nothing has been decided. Everyone presented their suggestions, but no decision was taken. We will meet again on Sunday.
However, MPs and other ministers expressed their views on the discussions which concluded last night without a final decision.
We held initial discussions. We hope to solve this through discussion. I personally don't believe that we have to involve the courts when a problem between the President and the Parliament arises. I believe that many things will be decided upon in a meeting tomorrow or day after.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුව අතරේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා නම් අපි ඒවට උසාවි ආයුතුයි කියලා මම හිතන්නේ අද හෝ හෙට අනිත් සාකච්ඡාවේදී හුඟක් දේවල් අපිට निराකරණය කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙයි.
ඉතින් ජනාධිපතිතුමා ඊයේ පක්ෂ නායකයන්ටත් කියලා තියෙන්නේ.
The President has asked the party leaders to bring in a no confidence motion in the proper manner on the 5th. That means the previous no confidence motions are not valid. They are wrong. He does not accept them. I saw some of them saying that they have already taken the government on the 5th. The President has said to present the motions in an appropriate manner on the 5th.
The vehicle parade organized by the United National Front to uphold democracy in Sri Lanka commenced opposite the Colombo Municipal Council today. The vehicle parade was named as Vessel for Justice.
The vehicle parade commenced opposite the Colombo Municipal Council following religious observances. Leaders of the United National Party, Ranil Wickremesinghe, and MPs representing the United National Front participated at this event.
The 19th Amendment was presented during the presidential election in 2015. It was presented by President Maithripala Sirisena to strengthen the democracy in our country. Therefore, we have a duty to protect it. Among the several programs we initiated, one program is the Vessel for Justice. The people of this country used their mandate against Mahinda Rajapaksa twice. Even after this, if Mahinda Rajapaksa is appointed as the Prime Minister, this is against justice and against the mandate of the people.
The UNP motor rally arrived in Bambalapitiya via Independence Square and proceeded towards Moratuwa. The motor rally proceeded towards Kalutara and upon arrival obtained the blessings of the Kalutara Mahabodhiya. Subsequent to the motorcade, participants conducted a public meeting in Kalutara.
The UNP and UNF consist of clever and intelligent members. They identified how to compete in this race and strategically defeated Maithripala Sirisena and Mahinda Rajapaksa day by day. By the 5th of next month, we would have emerged victorious in this race and we will once again claim the post of Prime Minister and the Cabinet.
We have already claimed 95% of victory in this struggle. I must remind you that we have defeated Mahinda Rajapaksa and Maithripala Sirisena in Parliament more than 6 times. We have the majority. I was invited and given a ministerial position as well. However, the position is not important. What's important is ensuring democracy is upheld. Positions must be taken while ensuring democracy is safe. We took the positions, however, we could not continue. As we came along, we received good responses from everyone. We request everyone not to remain at their homes, come forward and take to the streets and fight for democracy. The motor rally proceeded towards Beruwala and Alugama and was warmly welcomed by the residents of Ambalangoda. The motor rally, organized by the United National Front, demanding to uphold democracy, arrived at the Sinigama temple for religious observances. The rally then proceeded towards Devinuwara Vishnu temple, marking the end of today's rally. The rally is set to reach Mahiyangane tomorrow via Kataragama.
A petition with 5 million signatures was signed requesting to hold a parliamentary election immediately. This was organized by the Pavidihanda organization.
The petition was signed at the Sri Vishnu Devalaya this morning following religious observances.
What is our hope? This is to build the country. On one hand, we are being invaded and influenced by the international community. We cannot build the country without holding an election. Our hope is to elect intelligent and decent members of parliament and let them rebuild the country again. What all of us say is that this country needs an election. The people of this country have the right to elect their representatives, just like how everyone came together to steal. We ask the public representatives, especially from JVP and TNA, to come forward to prepare a plan to hold the election.
A large crowd gathered at the Sri Vishnu Devalaya in Devundara when the petition was signed. The petition demanding to immediately hold elections was signed before the Matra Bodhiya as well. The petition was signed once again at the Sinigama Devalaya with the presence of a large gathering.
Chairman of the Elections Commission Mahinda Deshapriya, speaking at a conference organized for state sector employees for the Ratnapura district, expressed the following views.
පළාත් පාලන ආයතන ඡන්ද විසීම් ප්‍රමාදය සම්බන්ධයෙන් ගරු ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණයේ ඉදිරියේදී විභාග වුණු SCFR
Case number SCFR 35/2016 was examined at the Supreme Court. Is a case filed against the delaying of provincial council elections. At this, it has been stated that the delaying of an election is considered as a breach of fundamental rights of the people. At the hearing, the Supreme Court has stated that the delaying of elections caused by the government is a breach of the people's fundamental rights. We are currently holding discussions to assess how Election Commission can contribute to resolve this issue. However, the Parliament should impose regulations to this regard. 3 elections should be held within the next 2 years. Those are Provincial Council election, the Presidential election and the General election. Also, the elections for Southern Province, Galle District and the LPTA Pradesh Sabha election should also be held.
දකුණු පළාතට මේ ගාල්ල දිස්ත්‍රික්කයට LPTA ප්‍රාන්ත සභාව ඡන්ද තියෙනවා.
The cost varies for different types of elections. For a national election, it will cost around 4.5 to 5 billion rupees. For a public referendum, it will cost about 3.5 to 4 billion rupees.
Anunayaka of the Kote Sri Kalyani Samagri Mahasangha Sabha, Venerable Professor Kotapitiya Rahul Thera pointed out that regardless of the decision of the Supreme Court, the decision of the general public needs to be taken into account. He made these statements at a religious ceremony held in Bandaragama today.
The event was graced by politicians including Speaker Karujaya Surya.
The majority of parliament was claimed by another political party, so it is important to identify who has the majority. There are only 5 to 6 MPs representing minority parties. It is with much belief that the people of this country voted for the UNP. No one voted to sell shares of our country, and the people did not vote to postpone elections either. Please don't get angry for making such statements, but the parliamentarians obtained the votes of the people after presenting certain principles and policies. However, the people are forgotten after they get into parliament. Dear Speaker, these laws and principles must be rectified. This is a shameless act. I believe that a parliament cannot go forward in such a manner.
I am an individual who acted with much devotion towards my country. At a time the country faced terrorism, I have taken steps to put stop for terrorism. Even in parliament, I have always acted according to my conscience, and I will continue to do so even in the future.
Chairman of the Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna, Professor G.L. Pires, convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
It is very clear that the Speaker in particular regards as important only the opinion of foreigners. He has a particularly servile attitude to foreigners. The people of this country are excluded from the parliament galleries. But by the special invitation of the Speaker, the galleries are filled with foreigners who are distinguished invitees of the Speaker.
Who is handling Ranil Wickramasinghe's party, the UNP? It is none other than the Tamil National Alliance. M.A. Sumandiran went up to the former leader of the House, Lakshman Kiriyalla, and threatened him. The general who is handling the entire program by signalling the Prime Minister is also M.A. Sumandiran. The audio tape does not mention anything about a no-confidence motion that has been approved. The People's Court should provide a solution to this. No other court can do it.
The chairman of Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna also expressed the following views.
Speaker Karunaratne Jayasuriya is working according to his own agenda. The streets of Colombo are full of posters hailing him as the greatest hero after King Dutugamuno. What absolute nonsense. The Speaker has been acting in a totally illegal manner. Now it seems that he has falsified the official government documents. Hansard, as approved by him, contains a sentence that is not there in the video, which is a contemporaneous record of parliamentary proceedings prepared by none other than the officials of Parliament. So it is the best possible evidence of what transpired in Parliament on a particular occasion. And there is a discrepancy between that and the version of Hansard approved by the Speaker.
ජනාධිපතිතුමා ප්‍රකාශ කළා තියෙනවද මේ අගමැතිතුමාට ඉවත් වෙන්න කියලා
නෑ ඒක සම්පූර්ණ අසත්‍යයක්.
එතකොට සර් මේ කතාව ඇත්තද? එතකොට ජනාධිපති මේ මහින්ද මහත්තයා සහ රනිල් මහත්තයා හම්බෙච්ච කතාව?
මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහතුමා පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රී.
Mahinda Rajapaksa is a member of parliament and so is Ranil Wickremesinghe, so it is normal for them to meet and talk.
ස්වභාවික දෙයක්.
Another phase of the Let's Protect Democracy, Defeat Conspiracies seminar organized by the Janata Vimukti Peramuna was held in Varipula under the auspices of the leader of the JVP, Anura Kumar Dissanayake, yesterday. Ranil Wickremesinghe can welcome Senanayake, who changed his views recently. Mahinda Rajapaksa can welcome Wadibel, who always changed his views. We would like to ask you if these people are actual leaders. Some cannot be safeguarded by external influences. MP named Ismail also switched sides. The Rajapaksa team tried to hide him. Rishad Badiuddin managed to get Ismail. Then he took him to city of Mecca. Rishad Badiuddin has taken all 6 MPs to Mecca because then no one will be able to escape. MP Ade Karanathan lives in Madulla. He goes home sometimes. Mahinda Ananda and others jump here and there. Therefore, he left his house to another house in secret. This money is black money. If Ranil Wickremesinghe thinks that he can peacefully engage in politics for the rest of the 1.5 years, I think he is wrong. We assure you that he would not be able to do that. Ranil has no right to keep 113 and govern the country. A media briefing was convened at the Prime Minister's office this morning. Yesterday, we awarded appointments to 14,000 Samurdhi authorities, and among them were 7,000 permanent appointments. 3 former ministers have stated that these appointments will be rejected under a new Prime Minister. I state with much responsibility that these appointments are legal, constitutional, and do not contain any form of defect. There's only one with executive powers and only 225 in the Constitution. Starting from high courts to magistrates, there are only 335. Altogether, the sum is 561. However, there are 15.7 million voters in the country, and that is why we say the decision must be taken by these 15.7 million voters. That is what we call people's mandate. Many Sri Lankans have taken their funds to foreign countries, and these funds remain abroad. Therefore, to address this issue, we will provide an extraordinary tax concession that no government has ever granted before. I have proposed that in order to bring back these funds, a new tax concession package and investment tax package should be brought forward. We will not question the mode or sources of funds, and we will provide a grace period of 1 year. Continuing in local news, a 48-year-old suspect has been arrested by the Kilinochi police over the killing of 2 police officers in Vaunathu.
A suspect has been arrested in the afternoon over the killing of 2 police officers. He is a 48-year-old resident of the address number 27 Hudson Road, Vattakachi, Kilinochi. The suspect is identified as Rasanayagam Sarvanathan. The suspect has been already given to the Criminal Investigations Division officers, who is in the area for further investigations. Police recovered the bodies of 2 police officers who were on roadblock duty in Vaunathu area on the 29th morning. 2 police officers based at a security checkpoint in Vaunathu area, about 50 meters away from the Vaunathu-Vala-Ire bridge, have been murdered. Our correspondent stated that a T-56 assault rifle had been used for the killing, while the weapons owned by the deceased police constables were also missing. The deceased were 28-year-old police constable Dinesh Algaratnam and a 35-year-old Niloshan Intika, a father of 1 from Gaul. The post-mortem examination confirmed that the two police officers were shot in the head. Police media spokesperson SP Rangirasekara said that one of the police officers had been shot in the head twice and the other police officer had been shot in the head once. The remains of Constable Niroshan Indika are placed at his residence in Gaul. The remains of Constable Dinesh Alagaratnam have been handed over to his relatives.
In yet another heartbreaking news, a Tusker has been shot dead inside the Udawalawe National Park in close proximity to the reservoir.
Director General of the Wildlife Department Chandana Surya Bandara said the Tusker was killed early this morning. The deceased Tusker is believed to be between 10 to 15 years of age. The post-mortem examination was carried out under the supervision of veterinary surgeon Nalika Abewardana this morning. During the post-mortem examination, it was revealed that the Tusker was killed using a medicine-injected gun. We inspected 2 gunshots. One was directed at the head. When we inspected the guns, we found out that they were locally manufactured. Locals say that the wildlife officials attempted to send the elephant back to the forest reserve when it encroached the village several times. They charge that the elephant was killed due to the negligence of wildlife officials. The elephant encroached the village every day. It was sent back to the forest reserve only yesterday. They should have removed the elephant from the area. The wildlife officers should be held responsible. A tractor was assigned to chase elephants, but even when they see an elephant, they don't try to chase it. These people should be held responsible to make sure this will not happen again.
The Sri Lankan deaf cricket team who won the Deaf T20 World Cup returned to the island this morning.
India hosted the first ever Deaf T20 World Cup. Sri Lanka won the championship after defeating India by 36 runs in the final. They were welcomed at the reception to welcome special guests at the Bandaranayake International Airport.
The commitment given by these two coaches supported this victory. In fact, everyone supported us. The cricketers played with a good mentality. Even though they encountered any injuries, they ensured to play towards the end of the game.
This victory will be added to the history books as another national achievement, following the victories in the 1996 World Cup and the T20 World Cup in 2014.
Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
This is the first program I have seen which recognizes sportsmen. Usually at an award ceremony, it is actors, actresses or sportsmen and women who are directly involved in the field are recognized. But there are many hidden characters behind these victories. But here the coaches and the teachers are also recognized. So I think this will expand our field because of the encouragement given to them. Many will come forward to sponsor and support the sports industry in the future.
හොඳම ක්‍රීඩා ගුරුවරයා වැනි අයව අගය කිරීමක් අපි කරා. ඉතින් මේකෙන් මම දකින්නේ තව තවත් අපේ ශාස්ත්‍රයේ පුළුල් වෙන්න අවස්ථාව තියෙනවා. මොකද ඔවුන් දිරිමත් කරන නිසා, ඔවුන් අගයන නිසා තව තවත් මෙවැනි ක්‍රීඩා වලට පුහුණු කරුවන් හැටියට ඒ වගේම අනුග්‍රහකයන් හැටියට ඉදිරිපත් වෙන්න ගොඩක් අය කැමැත්ත දක්වයි.
Sports First Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Do take care and good night.